Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is Factsheet Friday, week 2 for the upcoming Mercedes-Benz Truck Pack DLC. We'll jump straight in, might as well, because we've got the first image that is truly, I suppose, truly new, different, that we haven't seen before from some of the stuff that Giants have sent out. And obviously we will get the extra information with the fact sheets as well, which we're going to have a look at momentarily. But this is the Unimog that I was expecting. When we saw the images of the Universal Carrier, which we showed a little bit of last week, this was what I was thinking of, the newer version of the Unimog. This is what was in my head, and this is the proper off-road beast, you know. Not the other one won't go off-road, but this one, bit of a weapon. Very cool looking bit of kit. It's got the bed on the back, and that's what I was talking about last week with Universal Carrier when I said it had a capacity. I think I found an image on the Farming Simulator website in the end, but it is this vehicle. Big old lights on the front of that as well, but it also shows the front 3-point link. We've been talking about the fact these have front 3-point, rear 3-point, very versatile bits of equipment. Sits very high off the ground. Big old snowplow on that, but it is a very, very cool looking bit of kit. Let's jump in and have a look at the information for this. So, the Unimog U1800 to 2400. It is a tractor unit, 70,500. Not too expensive. I thought it'd be more than that. But again, this is where people have been talking about a lot. 180 to 240 horsepower. I mean, 240 horsepower is not to be sniffed at, but I think people want a bit more oomph. But I suppose now the fact, well, once it comes out, the pack comes out, Mercedes-Benz Unimog will be a brand. You know, we have had a couple of mods like it-ish. I don't know, potentially people might up the horsepowers a little bit. I mean, that don't go crazy, but pretty cool. Anyway, 200 litre fuel tank, 90 kilometres per hour, 55 mile an hour on the road, 6.8 tonne. And again, with the back, and that surprised me as well. I suppose it's a similar sort of size, although it sits higher, bigger, chunkier tyres on that. It doesn't mention tyre options. The old fact sheets always used to have information about the tyres. It doesn't say about that. I assume there will be different tyre choices to go for on this. This pack comes with, what was the name of the company? There's a new tyre brand being added to the game as well. If I remember when I do the editing, I'll put it up on the screen. Anyway, that being said, so it's a 2,200 litre, and you can see the crop types that bed will take. Now, if it's like the Universal Carrier, again, we don't know any more information than what we've been given here, is that bed should be removable. So in the options, you'll have it potentially with the flat bed, potentially with a gooseneck, potentially with a fifth wheel for towing sort of semi-trailers. And then obviously there's that version which has a capacity to it as well. What other options we'll get for that? Will we get packs in the future which will add more things on? Potentially things like forestry backs which have wood chippers, or a crane back, or, you know, I don't know. Like I say, that's me just putting it out there as a potential. Wouldn't that be cool? But anyway, it's nice to see that, the Unimog U1800 at 2400. Then we move on to, and again, I spoke about this a little bit last week, because we had the first of the MB tracks last week, and I said there were 4 or 5 in this Mercedes-Benz Truck Pack DLC, and a lot of people were talking about this one. Now, this is an interesting one. I do like it. It's a very cool bit of kit with the back loader carrying the bales on it as well, which means you've got change driving direction in the cab, because obviously that's facing backwards at the moment with the rear 3-point link. And the engine is at the front, the other way around. So, but again, it's a nice image. I think we've seen that kind of image a couple of times already with information Giants have already put out, but we'll have a look at this in a bit more detail. So, the MB Track 1100, 1500. 55 grand, again, not too expensive. This is 110 to 150 horsepower, so up a bit from last week's one. 170 litre tank, 40 kilometres per hour, 24 miles per hour on the road, 5.6 to 6.1 tonne. What I like about this, it made me smile. We've got the Stoll Robust 30 HDPM front loader, which I guess it is if you attach it on the front of a tractor. And you've changed your driving direction, so technically if you change driving direction, that then becomes the front. Like everything in life, it's just all about perspective, isn't it? Which way are you looking at it from? It's a front loader on the back, but then you change direction, which makes it the front. I don't know. Anyway, 3,500, 110 horsepower required to operate it, which this has at the minimum 420 kilogram. I assume that's the weight of it, so if you wanted to use it as a weight. what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to slide on just so you can see that a little bit. We had some extra images. It made me smile this week. It was a weird one. Let me just slide this image over the top so you can see those in a little bit more detail. You can, you can see the loader in the other image, but at least the loader's separate there. You can see the image. Yesterday, this is obviously dropping Friday. Yesterday, Thursday, because Giants are at Gamescom this week. These images, these fact sheets, were released on social media from Giants by accident. And what made me laugh in a kind of idiotic, this is insane way, Giants then sent this information out to Giants partners to post videos like this with an embargo of 1 PM today, which normally you have an embargo because the information isn't being released until that time. But the information's already out there. It's one of those weird kind of, well, if the information's out there, why is there an embargo? Anyway, doesn't matter. But so, there we go. You can probably hear, apologies if you can hear that in the background. My neighbours are still, it's been, what, 2 weeks now? 3 weeks having their extension built, and it's, yeah, makes life interesting. Anyway, you don't need to know about all of that. So there we go. That's it. Two pieces of equipment, I'll say 2 vehicles and a piece of equipment this week, so we've upped from 2 pieces of equipment. But don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can pre-order now up until release. There's a 10% discount on both the Mercedes-Benz truck pack, which releases September the 9th, and the Highlands Fishing Expansion Edition, depending on what you go for, November the 4th, 2025. Both have discounts until release. If you've got the season pass, you will get these free. If you are going to pre-order them, download them, there are links in the description. If you get the option at any point, use the partner code MrSealyp, all caps, would be very much appreciated. But again, I'm not begging, I'm just saying it's there. If you want to use it, you can. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to, and other content creators are available. I hope you found all of this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then of course, please be my guest. Whatever you choose to do, as always, thanks for watching.